Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show with your hosts Lee Silber and Ellen Goodwin.
Welcome to another episode of the Faster, Easier, Better show. I'm your co-host, Ellen Goodwin, along with my co-host.
I'm sorry, I was eating something.
You were eating? We're recording right now. So.
Sorry, but this is about restaurants and fast food and all kinds of things related to cooking.
Oh, okay. So we're going to talk about what you can learn about efficiency from restaurants and
lasagna.
Chefs, pizza. I think that's a great idea because if you think about it, restaurants, any sort of food place has to be efficient because there's nothing worse than showing up and waiting to get your food, waiting to order, and then your food comes out and it's wrong. Super inefficient. But restaurants that are good are super efficient because of these ideas. You started.
Well, I went to a pizza place once and they were out of pizza. Somehow they didn't order enough dough or something. I thought, what else do you serve? Nothing. We just still serve pizza. Okay, well, I guess I'll go next door. But I'll start with pizza because I think over the years, pizza came over from in World War II, from the GIs coming back, and they're like, we had this great food in Italy, and it was served at Papa John's. Well, it wasn't Papa John's. It was David said that, not Papa John's. Oh my! But it was certain Papa Tony's or some your pizza parlor down the street, right? Or
right.
Then you could make it in your oven. That was a big thing. And then each time, I feel like pizza has really evolved to where they're cooking the pizza in the vehicle on its way to your house. That's Domino's. So the pizza is being cooked or heated up on the way. So when you get it, it really is fresh, like out of the oven. It just, the oven happens to be in the car. My point is, they've used little improvements over time to get huge improvements in the long term, meaning they just kept adding things, pizza places had a drive-up window, then they delivered, then you could make it in your home, then they delivered the pizza hot, fresh, and then it was delivered cooked in your driveway. But the point is, always try and make something a little better when you do it, and over time, it makes a big difference.
Totally makes sense to me. So I think about chefs, sticking with not necessarily pizza chefs, but chefs and how they know the basics. If you ever read a biography of a chef or you follow like how they progress from, they work in the kitchen and they'll spend like a year learning how to use your knife, but they get the basics down. And once you have the basics, you can add to them. It's the same like a musician, like a jazz musician. Once you know how to play, you can riff off of any of that. So making it a point to really know the basics, and then you can always go off of them, but you've got that good, strong foundation to go with.
I watch a lot of TV. No, well, okay, that's not true. I watch TV. I'll just put it like that. It's because that's not efficient. TV. I have TV on the background while I'm working. It's for me, it works. But anyway, I watch a lot of those makeover shows. You make over your car. You make over your home. There's a restaurant makeover show,
right?
And most times when they take a failing restaurant and fix it, the problem is their menu is too big. And I could just see the guy always saying, like, who are you? What do you want to be? What do your customers really want from you? Get rid of everything else. You don't need to have, a bazillion different menus on the items on the menu because you need a lot of supplies. So you're ordering more. There's spoilage. Certain things aren't profitable. What is your 10 best things? I mean, In-N-Out Burger, they don't have chicken. Chick-fil-A, they don't have burgers. They do what they do best, and they're simple. And can you imagine how much easier life would be if we could just focus in on what we do best that other people want and need, so we are just Mr. and Mrs. Efficiency?
Absolutely.
Not you and I, but just people.
Not us. But no, I think that's great. And that piggybacks on, I'm going to go back to chefs and the idea of having tools that there are multi-use tools, not single use. If you look at a lot of people's kitchens, they've got, I've got this that I can use for this one thing. And then I've got a panini maker. Cool. And what do you use it for? Paninis. Okay. And then I've got this over here and I use it to make this. Well, what if you have something that you can use for lots of things? And chefs don't have a lot. They don't have a panini maker. They have a pan, and they know the tools to use so that they work for lots of different things. So that's efficient. You think about your house. Okay, like I'm going to go back to the panini maker because I don't know why I'm stuck on that, but you're going to keep it in a cupboard, and then you have to dig it out when you need it, and then you put it back, or you leave it on the counter and it gets dusty. Why? Find things that you can use for multiple things, make those your anchor point, and use them instead of having lots of other things. It's efficient. Chefs know this.
Simplify and streamline.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of restaurants that had to be creative to survive. They couldn't serve diners inside, and you're seeing all these pop-up restaurants and outdoor seating areas. I love the fact that, you could just wallow in self-pity and say, that's not fair. COVID is killing our restaurant and the regulations are too strict. Or you could just say, what can we do? How can we make this work? What can we do differently or better or within the rules, but yet to make it so that we can stay in business? I think a lot of us, if we thought of our jobs or our careers like a business, we'd be much more efficient because we want to focus on our profit areas. We'd also, I think, be more creative. A restaurateur that owns one mom and pop restaurant can just say, I'm going to hire a carpenter, I'm going to build some benches, and we're going to put some cushions on it, we're going to put some plants and lights, and now I have 6 more seatings that I didn't have before. And I love that many restaurants have adapted and found a way to make it work. And I find that very inspiring.
So use that as an efficiency thing. Look at things. Don't look at what they are. Look at what they might be. Iterate, come up with new ideas. That's efficient. All right. So these are all ways that you can be inspired to be efficient by restaurants, chefs, pizza parlors. Thanks for listening. Be sure and subscribe, review, and like our podcast. And of course, be back again next week for Lee and I. With
Pizza!
What was
Pizza!
Be back for more pizza.